Okay, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Greetings from the land of smiles, beautiful Bangkok, Thailand, the home of the street fair, aka protest rally. I'm glad you guys are here. How is everybody doing? Most of you are unmuted, so you can jump right in and let me know what's happening. So just come on and let me know how you guys are doing. Can you guys hear me? Uh-oh. Anybody? Anybody? Hello? Oh, this is great. Nobody can hear me now. What?
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
That's good. Okay, great. Well, one of you can. Glenn says I cut out. How about the rest of you guys? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Lee says you can hear me. Jennifer. Okay, excellent. All right, great. So I'm thrilled that you guys are here. Let me unmute you, Cynthia. And I'll try and unmute people as they come in. Aileen is here. And great. Okay, so cool. So everybody, how's everybody doing? I want to start with you guys today and hear what's new and exciting and questions, issues, opportunities of your use of the software. I can't tell who's got kids in the background, but if it's you, I'll ask you to kindly mute yourself. Hey, Cindy, I'm going to make you an organizer since you are expert at this sort of thing by default. Lucky you.
I would love to help. Thank
I
you.
just volunteered you automatically. So, okay, so who's got some news to report? Not everybody all at once.
Hi, Ken. It's Aileen.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
All right, thank you. I just wrapped what will be my first preview webinar for the new workshops I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
So I've literally just done it a few minutes ago, but it's Rhonda told me it's possible to do that. And I was trying to put
what's the URL?
hang on, I'll stick it in the box. Hang on.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, let me see if I can find it here. In the box. Oh, here we go. Okay, align with your. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, let's do it here. Oh, I'm in Firefox. I don't want to be in Firefox. Okay. Great. Okay, let's see.
Okay,
So,
I haven't done the.
Oh, I see why. Now I see why you wrapped it. Okay, because you're using instanteleseminar.com, so it wasn't going to be there. It wasn't going to be your URL that you were sending people to. So you wrapped it so it would appear on your site.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
they do give you a function where you can embed it on your site, but
Okay.
I couldn't get that to work. And Rhonda said, "Do you know you can wrap this site?" So
Well, great.
I thought, cool.
Great. Well, yeah.
I mean, I haven't finished with what's actually there. As you can see, I'm going to have something different, some other bits and pieces.
Yeah, and by
not just their blurb, but
yeah. Well, it's a start, and I will make some suggestions to you, and this is for all of you, by the way. Look at Aileen's header. Okay, your header, while it's beautiful, the design of your header is not a good design for an all the way across header. And do you see why I say that? Do you guys see why I say that?
Because the green at the sides isn't the same.
Right, exactly. What you want to do, if you want to have a header that goes all the way across, like, well, actually, we don't have the header on that page. Like on iBoostify.com or boostyourpractice.com or whatever, you want the left side and the right side to have the exact same ending color all the way across, or same pattern, so that way your background image or your background color matches. Okay. So in other words, fade that tree back out so that it goes back to that dark. So it goes back to the dark side, and then it'll, and you know what I mean. And then it'll be seamless. So however you do that. Okay, but that's how you'll make it look. That's how you make it look. That's how you'll make it look effortless. Also, or not effortless. It'll make it look better. And the other thing too is that my suggestion is that your return to AWYP needs to be more predominant. The green would probably be the wrong color. Use a button or something, or at least change the font color at the very least so that people can see it.
Yeah, that's me trying to keep it all looking beautiful, but it has to be functional as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? in my element of style, it's not as beautiful as it could be anyway. By putting a button in there, it'll set it apart, give it a function, because right now the color
Yeah.
is sort of a distraction rather than something that does have a purpose. So I see what you're trying to do. You can do better by giving it more function. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm thrilled that you're using it.
Cool.
That's going to be a big help for you. Now,
No, it's going to be fantastic.
now, by the way, I've been bragging about you, and I'll mention this is that was you, Deborah. That was Deborah. I just muted. I was unmuting you, but I have muted you again, Deborah. When you're ready to be unmuted, and let me know, and I'll I'll take care of that for you. Anyhow, I do want to make a point on this. You can change your headers, of course, at any time. You can change your headers for any page within SiteWrap. So you can have different branding if you want to, or a different color, or a different label on that return to site area. Okay.
Yeah.
So no biggie there. But now I remember what I wanted to mention. I have been using Aileen's name a lot lately, and I don't know if I have.
Great.
Yes, well, not necessarily. You don't know what I've been saying about you. Excuse me.
True.
Excuse me. Sorry. So here's what I've been saying about Aileen, and some of you have opened your email that I sent you yesterday or earlier today, depending upon where you are. Some of you watched the video. Some of you watched and some of you watched the video, and some of you didn't. Now, I made videos for every single one of you, not individually. That would have been a lot of videos, but I did spend some time at the pool yesterday making video for you guys, and I'll encourage you to read it, because what I said in the video was this. I said to you guys, Michaela watched the video. Good, I'm proud of you. What I said is that as we're about to launch a version 1.0, and I'll give you some more detail on that in a little bit. We had some unfortunate family challenges that had delayed us a few days. As we launch 1.0, we are going out to a lot of significant affiliates, coming off of the Marketers Cruise, coming off of the Traffic and Conversion Summit, and now we have a Chief Marketing Officer who is a significantly heavy hitter that's setting up our JVs. You'll be meeting Shannon sometime soon, I'm sure, if you want to promote the software. We're going to go crazy with this, and it will be reaching thousands upon thousands of people. Now, I can keep bragging about Aileen only, and she'll be the only person that gets the juice out of that, plus Michaela and her cute video. Or the rest of you can brag too, and I can tell you, and I can tell your story as a proud father, and share your case study about how you made more money and increased your time on site and done all the things that you're supposed to do by using the software. So I'm encouraging you as nicely as I can, as opposed to saying, listen, damn it, do this. Tell us what you're doing. Let's document what it is. If you're not sure how you can look at your stats, then let's sit down together and go through that. And by the way, Gina and I are doing a day and a half workshop on Google Analytics and Facebook Analytics, which is an analytics workshop. I forget what we're calling it, but it's supposed to be in a few weeks, and I got to get with her in a couple of days to sort out our timing and our promotion and all that business. But we are doing that specifically for you, specifically for your group, our group here. And yes, we'll open it up to the masses, but frankly, the best way for us to know how well SiteWrap is working is to be able to monitor what SiteWrap is doing for you from a time on site standpoint, as well as to run your business to know just what's working and how. And so the best way to do it is with your analytics. We don't often give analytics the importance and significance as they should be given. And that results in us doing a lot of really dumb things. And when I mean dumb things, I mean things that we continue to do because we don't know they're not working, thus we do them anyway, as opposed to looking at things, monitoring them, realizing that, oh, that page sure as hell didn't convert. Let's do something different, and then making the changes. It's like driving your car close to the edge of the cliff and realizing that you don't have to be at the edge of the cliff. You can actually be on the main road if you just adjusted the steering wheel. So we'll be doing more of that, okay? So what I want you guys to do truly is to document what you're doing. And let's look at your time on site. Let's look at what's going on with Google. If you're using the retargeting feature, which every single one of you guys should be doing, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit more in a few minutes. I want you to see and I want to know just how much that's increasing your sales. That's a huge selling factor for the software, a huge benefit for the software. And I mean, I can talk about it conceptually. I can talk about people with success in retargeting, and that'll sell the software easily. But I'd much rather tell your story about how you're making money. I mean, that's what this is all about. So let's see. And Michaela says, "Queen of dumb things." Yeah, we don't need to be going down that road. So anyhow, let's unmute you. Anybody else have anything you want to add before I get? What that was? Oh no. I'm going to mute you again, Lee. You're still noisy in the background. Anybody else? Okay, then I'm going to jump back in again. Let me give you an update of where we are with the new version and what's going on and so on and so forth. We had planned to have 1.0 ready Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Philippine time, until Matt's father-in-law died a few hours earlier. So that sort of set us back a little bit. I'm hoping to hear from Matt today. I think the wake was yesterday. Last week he was in the hospital with blood transfusions. I mean, all the drama you can possibly imagine was happening with this. And when you have a single programmer working on it, it's not like someone else can take over. So, we've had, as you can see, there's been a little bit of a challenge there, but we're just about done. 1.0 will be out. We're already starting to look at what's going to happen with 1.1. But 1.0 is going to make things so much easier for us, and I'll have some new tutorials for you guys with 1.0, and I'm expecting that within the next couple of days, as I had mentioned to you 2 weeks ago. So I apologize for those delays. It's frustrating, all of us on this end, but the R matters a bit out of my control. So okay, excuse me. Michaela's mentioning that Facebook is unveiling a retargeting feature that they're putting in beta, which will make perfect audience and other retargeting redundant. We'll see. Don't know what they're going to be doing and how they're going to be doing it, but there are a number of companies that offer retargeting services that bid out and play in a number of the marketplaces for advertising. So I'm sure that Perfect Audience and the other retargeting companies are going to find other ways to do it. We're actually looking at our own retargeting relationship with one company that we would be actually white labeling. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me on that conversation. So we'll see. Jennifer's asking, is anybody else having difficulty with the wrap links? Jennifer, what trouble are you having? Because I do our own wraps here, and I'm not having any problems. So I'm curious as to what trouble you are experiencing, or if anybody else is. Let's address it. They are not wrapped any longer. Do you have the current version of the software installed? Okay, it says the plugin is expired. Yeah, well then you shouldn't have the existing right version of the plugin, because 0.995 doesn't have an expiration on it anymore. Matt took it off. So you may need to just go back and reinstall. There's a blank page with the words expired plugin. Yeah, I don't know when you last installed it, but what I'm going to say, is anyone else experiencing that? Is no one else jumping in? You just reinstalled it when? When did you download it from the site? Because I'm still using mine and I get it from the same place. When did you download the you can actually talk. I did 2 weeks ago. I gave you the same info. This version. Wait, Michaela, so is this still working for you? That's what I need. And Eileen's working.
Yes. Hi, Ken. Yeah, oh, yeah. It was the same thing. I think the last time we did a mastermind before you went on the cruise.
Right.
We talked about that, and I think someone, maybe it was Jennifer, said that it really is a pain in the butt, or a hardship when it's constantly expiring.
I thought that was you.
That was all resolved.
I thought that was you.
It could have been. It could have been. Maybe it was me. I'm just going to blame Jennifer.
It was me.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. Was it Gary? I don't know who. But anyway, somebody did. We all did. We all went on a rampage.
There you go.
But I remember you said fine, and you talked to Matt right away. He updated it, and then at that point, like a day later, the new version was available, which no longer has an expiration. If nobody has updated since that webinar, then they're going to have the problem. But if you just update, and the thing is, it's not it was confusing for me because I was expecting a new update, but it's actually the same update.
Yeah, what he did actually, he did it during the actual session. He just kept 0.995 the same and took out the date. So, did I lose you guys? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me now? You guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so Jennifer, just reinstall it because it for whatever reason, maybe you're in a cache or something, but that was fixed like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or something, easily that time ago.
Yeah, that's the word. Reinstall, not update. Reinstall.
Thank you. Yes, I'll
reinstall the new one. Reinstall the new one, not the one that's in your hard drive.
Yeah. Now this won't need to happen again. The big delay on 1.0, just so you all understand, the biggest change. I mean, the functionality of tabs and ease of use and putting retargeting on every page. Hey, John, if you could mute yourself, that would be great. I'd appreciate it.
Thank you. I apologize.
It was like whatever you were doing sounded like you're about to have some really heavy duty breathing there.
Oh, now we don't need to go there. I'll get my parrot ringing his bell.
There you go. Right. Anyway, the functionality parts in terms of us having retargeting in every page and the tabs and ease of use part, that was done. That's easy. That was really easy part. The thing that's been challenging Matt in terms of timing has been handling the licensing issue. And what I mean by licensing issue is that when someone buys the software, if they're going to be paying monthly, then we have to automatically manage, have they paid on time? If they've not paid, do we turn them off? Or how does it turn off automatically and all that business? As well as the annual payments and so on and so forth. So that's what's been the validation piece of it has been taking a while, and we thought it was done. We thought it was perfect. We installed it, and it conflicted with wishlist member. So Matt had to go back and redo all the coding to not have the conflict, which is all part of development. But that's what the big change is going to be, Jennifer. So you're not going to see that issue again. And we did remove the dates on it. So 0.995, even though it really is still a fully functioning version, for you guys, it won't always work. It will always continue working. So so there you go. I mean, everyone that's on board right now would be renewing their software license in a year. If you don't renew it in a year, this will still work, but you will miss all the new things that we've added in between now and then. So obviously, there's a benefit to that. So that's what the big challenge has been for us, is to get that whole platform completed. And and like we're so close to the finish line, and the family drama. And I'm not saying that in a lighthearted way at all. It's just such a change and a sadness to have it happen now. But there it is. So what other challenges, what questions do you guys have? I want to make sure that I get everything addressed for you guys today, since I don't have a lot of new news to introduce, which is what I was hoping I would be able to do for you. I do want to mention we've changed. If you saw the video, then what I'm going to tell you now is going to be slightly redundant. If you didn't see the video, then this will be new. In looking at what our business model is and looking at what the practicality of these sessions have been, these have really been more of implementation sessions, getting you started sessions, some strategy, and really helping you all build your business, as opposed to true mastermind sessions. And especially for those people that are coming in new to use the software, it's kind of unfair to everyone to call it what it really hasn't been. So we're going to be launching some specific mastermind sessions within the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's all part of our marketing funnel that we've been developing. And so to call this what it is, they're really strategic implementation sessions to help every one of you implement the software in a way that's going to make you much more money and keep you on the right path. So that's why you saw a new name on the webinar page, and that's why you'll continue to see it that way. And they'll still continue just as they always have. We're just calling them what they really are. So I wanted to kind of be clear about that. Jennifer, it worked! Yay! I'm glad we have success in the United States today. That's great. Okay.
By the way, Ken, I watched your video, and that was really nice.
Oh, thanks,
Good
John.
job on that.
Thank you. That was the one asking you for your story? Is that the video?
Actually, I looked at both. That was really short, but the one I was referring to is the marketing video that you sent out to people, letting them know that the offer is going to end and the price is going up.
Oh, that one. Oh,
Wait,
that's on the new sales page. That's on this page right here. You guys
yeah.
can see it. Thank you. That's our new short video sales letter. And actually, I've got to make one change to it because it still calls the mastermind session or the strategic.
I'm If you're going to make a change to it, there's one place where you meant to use BY and you had BUY instead.
Oh no, that was intentional, John.
Oh, it was. Okay.
That was incredibly intentional, John. Why would I have done that? Why?
Well, you were talking about buying
Uh-huh.
at that point. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
what I did, you guys, and this came from I'm not sure if it was my idea or whether it came from John. I'm going blank on but my mentor on video sales letters, who I finally got to meet last week in San Diego. But when you're doing a video sales letter, it doesn't have to be Webster's perfect. In fact, it's totally cool to, instead of use the word by, meaning I want you to get it by this date, BY. It's cool to do get it BUY this date, which is what I did, and that was totally done that way. Um, so, hey, Jeremy, glad you're here. And by the way, for you guys, all these get recorded, so not to worry. It'll be in the members area. So yes, that was in the VSL. The VSL is about 9 minutes. I encourage you all to watch it. You guys, of course, will be set up are already set up as affiliates. So as we move forward to get into driving traffic and promotion and testing this, you're always welcome to promote. And if you have lists and you want to mail to your lists, then by all means, let us know. We'll do a webinar for you guys. I mean, it's all available for you. Okay, totally available for you. I want you to be aware of that. Paul's got a question. I'm really behind. I haven't built a web page yet, but I'm working on it. Do you use WordPress to build your websites, and does it only work in the U.S.? Okay, couple of questions. First of all, the software is a WordPress piece of software, and I'm going to share with you guys, because you're our family and you're our internal people, exactly the mindset for my calling it software as opposed to a WordPress plugin. A WordPress plugin, which is technically what this is, has a perceivably significantly lower value than a software solution that is written to be compatible with WordPress. Does that make sense? So what we are doing is building software solutions and pricing them based on value, not based on anything else. Wishlist Member, for example, is a $300 piece of software, because it does so much, and then there's a recurring maintenance fee on that one as well. So we price everything based on that. Now, you're going to want to build your site on using the WordPress platform. And by the way, if you are unfamiliar with how to do that, or if you want help with it, we are now doing a done-for-you piece with WordPress, and we're about to expand that to even add done-for-you complete sales funnels. I'm talking about from the first contact to a webinar to everything that you do all the way down the line. So that's going to be added, and that's going to be part of the whole new sales funnel that we run with our upcoming webinars. So if you want help to put your sites together, we can do that. We've got a full team that Matt and his wife have trained in the Philippines. And if you're not familiar with this, I know, Jeremy, you're new to us here, and welcome to you. Jeremy is our newest SiteWrap member, so let's give him a warm welcome. Thank you. Matt's our programmer. Kay is his wife, and they created a school in the Philippines that's sponsored by the government, and actually we're one of the sponsors now as well. And they've been teaching young kids about how to make money online, and they just graduated their first class. And as part of what we're doing to support them is we're going to be building WordPress sites for our customers and clients, and they're going to be creating them, and they're going to be making a lot more money than they could do if they did a Fiverr deal or if they did traditional outsourcing. I mean, we're actually giving the school money and giving the group money, and they don't get it individually; they get it as a group, so they all have to work together. So it's pretty exciting. In fact, for those of you that have been following the blogging strategies that my friend Gina Gaudio Graves teaches, which are incredibly extensive and perhaps, dare I say, overwhelming. And for those of you guys that are doing the Gina blogging, would you say that that can be overwhelming to someone getting started? That was a knowing laugh, Aileen, and Cindy's being Cindy's being awfully quiet over there. Although Cindy is the blogging superstar with some great results. I find it to be a little bit overwhelming, and it's more than I'm willing to do in my own time. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to have the team in the Philippines do that work as well. So I've tried to hire individual people to do it. They've all flamed out. So now we're going to be bringing this team on to follow step by step exactly what needs to be done with all the different blog posts. You'll do really, really well if you follow Gina's strategies. They're important. They're powerful. They work. And you want to do all of what she tells you to do. And there's a lot to do it right. So we're going to make sure that we do it right, because I'm very frustrated that it hasn't been done in my business as well as it could be. So we're working that. Now, Paul's last question here was, does it only work in the U.S.? Yes. If you're anywhere else in the world, it will never work for you. Okay, I'm being an ass. Of course it works everywhere else in the world. Everything that we're doing will work worldwide for you, unless you've got an audience that doesn't read or speak English and you're not translating. Okay, and actually with the WordPress theme that we're using, we have translation built into it because we use a Google Translator. And the reason why I mention that is because we're looking at doing a joint venture with one of the largest affiliates in Japan, and the translation of the language on the software is going to be easy. Where it's going to be a challenge for us is going to be translating the trainings and managing sessions like these in different languages. So I'm careful when I talk about outside of the United States. Okay, let me see. I don't know if anybody else is signing. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, anybody? Any other? That's how Cindy gets the system done. Yeah. Oh, so Cindy is outsourcing. John, Cindy's being very quiet. She's not jumping in on this one. I'm trying to give her the opportunity. She's muted herself. There she is.
No, I am. Yes, I do. I was working with Gina, and she was working with some other people. I think they might have been from the Philippines too. I can't remember the gentleman's name. And I did that for like probably 3 or 4 months. So I do the blog post and get them all ready and stuff, and then they do the SEO stuff. And I'm actually working with Gina's new team, which is Shelby, and maybe it's just Shelby. So she does the SEO stuff for me now.
Good, and see, and that gives you a lot more sanity, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
To be able to blog without having to blog and then spend another whole day just on one blog, just doing everything else.
Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Exactly. We don't want you to be in that scenario at all. What we want for you guys to be able to spend your time on things that are really most important to you, that will really maximize your effectiveness. I mean, you should not be doing things that I would call clerical. Putting tags on pictures to me is clerical. Posting things in other areas to me is clerical. You need to be functioning and focusing on the things that are strategic, that will make you the most money. And that's why we want to be able to give you as much of the back office stuff, whether it's setting up your website and everything else. And so more and more we'll be adding a lot more done for you things, because as a business model for us, it's certainly a high payday, but it also provides the maximum amount of support and service to people. I'm noticing that all of us tend to buy these how-to things, and we haven't got the time to do them. We just rather have someone just get the damn thing done for us, right? So that's what my intention is to give you more value with that, and I think that's going to help people in a much better way. So I see a lot of people that are still muted here. Any other questions here? I'm gonna start unmuting. Glenn, I unmuted you. Jeremy, I just unmuted you. John, okay, John, you're muted. Okay. Anybody else with questions right now, or some challenges or things? We got some time, so this is for you guys.
Ken, it's Aileen again.
Hello, darling.
Hi. Do you happen to have in your head the dimensions for a header
Yes, I do actually.
Go
977 by 110. Um, and how do I know that? That's because that's the header we've been using for years with Optimized Press 1.0. Um, there are new widths that people are using. Some people I think are using 1,000 or 1020 by 110. You can 1020 by 110 and 977 are pretty much the same. We've been using 110.
And that goes right across.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
No.
See, it will not go when you say right across. It won't go end to end. It will only go like 900, in this case 977 pixels. Then with SiteWrap, for example, if you know the color at the end, then you can
put it
right, that fills in the edges. That fills that fills in your edges. So you can do 977 or 1020 by 110, and that ought to cover you. In fact, let me see if I can do. Let's see, total.
And Ken, the color picker will let you figure out what color you need at the end.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, you can use that, or frankly, if your designer knows what the color is, it'll be easier for you. It'll match perfectly. You can use a color picker for sure. This one, what we did here on this page, if you can see it, this is our new affiliate page, totalpreneur.com/partners. We did a white background to make it even easier. But it goes straight across. But realistically, it doesn't really go straight across. It's whatever width that Fricks made it to be. Okay. So it can be all that you want. Right.
But all right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. So let's. Gary, you're unmuted yourself. Is there anything you want to jump in on? This is the most quiet you have ever been, my friend. Oh, he may have stepped away from his computer. I'm putting him on the spot. This is the quietest I've ever seen Gary. So I'm starting to feel lonely without you, my friend. So let's talk for a little bit about retargeting. Are any of you using retargeting right now? Are any of you using retargeting right now? Nobody's jumping in. Why are you not jumping in? You guys should be using retargeting. You guys should be excited about it. And I know I used the word should twice, which is probably not what a coach should be. There's that word should again. Probably not what
well,
it should be saying.
I will jump in
Go.
and say that it's Michaela, by the way. I have used retargeting, and when I'm doing paid advertising, I absolutely will not do any more paid advertising without retargeting. Right now, I've been focusing on the nonprofit, the fosterparrots.com site, and I've been building up just using this. That is not me.
It's somebody that's trying to send you money. Whoever it is, they're sending you money.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Right.
I've been focusing on the nonprofit. I've been focusing on using the wrap completely for information right now, just to get more time on, and I've been testing it that way. But the short answer there is yes, I do use retargeting when using paid advertising.
Okay, let me stop for a second here before we go any deeper in this, because David's asking the all important question of what the hell is retargeting. Although David didn't add the expletive, I did. So my apologies, David, for making the assumption that everyone knew what we were talking about. So here's what retargeting is. When you go to, for example, totalpreneur.com, okay, and you see this and you don't buy it, which would be probably the dumbest decision anyone can make, is to not buy the software. What we're going to be doing, and we're not using it yet, frankly, because I haven't made the ads yet, which is why. For the next month, wherever you go online, you're going to see SiteWrap advertising. You're going to see, have you wrapped your site yet? You're going to see, can you build your business 400% overnight? You're going to see advertising that follows you around whenever you do a Google search. Whenever you visit another website or whatever, you will see advertising relative to what you just came to visit. Okay, that's called retargeting. Google also calls it remarketing. So after you've been to our page, it will tag you, and it creates a list inside Google, basically, and they know who you are. Oh yes, they do. And they will deliver that ad to you as a visitor for as long as we want to deliver that ad to you. And again, each ad is designed by us. Yes. There you are.
Am I coming through now? Okay.
Oh, yes, you are.
There is a clarification that might assist people. Retargeting will only work if you are spending money with Google. It's Google's way of ripping more out of your wallet.
Okay.
If you have a good business strategy where you are leveraging what I call the lying Google, and I call them lying Google because they never tell you the truth.
Oh, Gary, now surely you don't mean to say something derogatory about our friends at Google who we know and love and would always support, right?
Let's just leave my friend Eric alone for the moment. So if you are at a stage in your business model that you are not paying Google to attract customers, this may not be an appropriate solution for you now. It doesn't mean that now is not the time to be aware of what is going on. I've seen a lot of stuff going around, and to me what I call the ABCs have been missing on it. There's been a sort of a guess, well, everybody is doing this. No, everybody isn't doing it, because not everybody is allowing Google to run up massive amounts on their credit cards.
Right. Well, see, here's the interesting thing about retargeting, though. You don't pay, at least the way I set up my retargeting. I only pay for the advertising if someone clicks on it. So they're going to, until they finally click on that thing, all those retargeting ads are free. So that's something to keep in mind. But David's asking, I'm using AdWords. Is that what you mean? Well, retargeting is done within AdWords, David, and what they do in AdWords is they call it remarketing. So that's what Google calls it. And if you structure it the way I'm suggesting, you're only going to pay for effectively you're only going to pay for that retargeting ad if they're buying something, because the only reason why they're going to click finally after having seen your page in the first place, in perfect world, is if they're going to buy, or else they're going to take a second look. So that's a price point that I'm totally willing to pay and let Google extract. Now, mind you, you're not limited to only going on to Google for retargeting. You can retarget through Bing, you can retarget through Yahoo, and absolutely you want to retarget with Facebook. Absolutely you want to retarget with Facebook. So that's what I'm going to suggest to you guys. And why do I say that? Because it's just so brilliant. It's just such a great way. Remember, when you're excuse me, if you've ever been through any kind of sales training, what they tell you in sales training is that it generally takes 6 to 7 impressions to get a sale. And whether that's the initial phone call, then the postcard, then the letter, then the follow-up phone call, then the gift you send in the mail, and whatever it happens to be in traditional selling, the third visit, it takes that ultimate relationship build, or the seeing and experiencing your brand or your offer enough times before someone goes, okay, I'm familiar with it enough, I'm ready to buy now. Especially when it's something that you don't need this minute. I mean, when I was on the cruise and I desperately needed a stomach pill, to get rid of antacid, I didn't need to have 7 different impressions. I needed to know, where the heck is that stuff? Where's the pharmacy right now? I was a buyer. But whether I got Tagamet or whatever other brand, you'd have to send it to me 7 different times today because my stomach's great now. You see, so it depends upon where you're at, and that's why retargeting is so important. And that's why, for me, retargeting is such a huge part of the benefit of this software. Okay, so my take on this is that you want to use it as often as you possibly can every time you're running any affiliate offer with SiteWrap, and add that retargeting cookie, because again, you're going to pay for it when someone clicks, and when they click, they're usually going to click to buy. So I think it's something that's really important for you to take advantage of. It's one of the biggest advantages that this software brings you from an economic standpoint, or let me rephrase, a direct economic standpoint. Are you guys following what I'm saying here? Is that making sense?
Ken, maybe you can also phrase it in the KLT build-up.
In the
This is an opportunity of people building a relationship where they know, like, and trust you.
KLT, know, like, and trust. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it
So
really
you
does.
may not know you from Adam.
Mm,
If you are appearing in their face, in a sense, or their Facebook, or their wherever all the time,
yeah.
often curiosity may spin you to say, well, wait a second. Yeah, I keep seeing this. This is round here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever thought you're going to buy a particular color car, blue car? And
And it
suddenly
shows
you see blue cars all around the place.
everywhere. Or watches, same kind of thing. You'll see that, and what the statistics show, and if you actually Google statistics for retargeting, you'll discover studies that show sales increases from 167%, I think was the low, to 300 to 400% on the high side. So that's pretty significant, even on the low side of 167%. That's pretty massive. So I think anyone that's not doing it is missing the boat in a huge way. There's something else, by the way, that I want to add to this, because we're going to start experimenting with this within the next week or so. I would say hopefully within the next few days. I just have a lot on my plate. You can actually, there's many ways to retarget, and you can actually retarget through email. You can put a retargeting pixel in your email, in your HTML email, so that you will be added to a retargeting list when someone opens your email. And that means that, for example, our plan is that we'll use it on webinars. So when someone's registering for a SiteWrap webinar, for example, they'll get to the webinar registration page, but they'll also be retargeted so that for the next few days they're going to see are you coming to the webinar? Are you going to be here for this event? Are you going to get to learn how to triple your income online, and so on and so forth? They'll be all they're going to hear is, or see for the next few days, is this great event's coming up. Are you coming? And that level of engagement for an event, I think can be very, very powerful for you and for your business. So especially for like a product launch, huge way of doing things. So we're going to come out with some good training on retargeting, because as you can see, it's a fundamental part of why SiteWrap's so important. And of course, as we release it, we'll let you know more about how you can use it. But it's a great opportunity for every one of you. So I'm generating lead generation for my practice. So my customers are not actually buying until they call to book in. Yeah, that's fine, David. But here's the thing: the more that they learn about what you're doing, okay. So if you're lead generating from Google AdWords, for example, you don't know who they are unless they opt in. So what you need to do with your lead generation system, with your funnel system, is to get them involved in the solution you're providing them. All right. Now, tell everyone here what your practice is so they can get a better handle on it, because I don't want to embarrass myself and say the wrong thing. So tell me a little bit more about your practice. And Wolfie, yeah, we're glad you're here. We've been waiting for you. We didn't do anything. We've just been sitting here just talking about life till you got here. All right. Well, while we wait for oh, sorry, David, your mic's muted. Hang on a minute. Let's unmute David here real quick. I can find you. Where are you? Okay, you're unmuted, David. David. Now I can't hear you. You are unmuted. So let's try your mic again. Otherwise, just type because we can't hear you right now. And I'll just repeat. But anyway, the bottom line, as you give me some more detail, whatever kind of business you're in, your objective is going to be to have a continual relationship with your prospect and your customer, especially your customer, because once you've acquired that customer, it costs you much more to acquire a new customer than it does to either reactivate or maintain the current customer, even if you're offering a sale, for heaven's sake. So you want to keep that customer coming back and keep that prospect alive to turn them into a customer. So that's going to mean adding value in terms of education. It's going to mean adding value in terms of perhaps some training or value adds or whatever it is that's going to serve their needs. In some cases, it's going to be something as simple as one little information piece. Okay, so you're a psychologist with a counseling practice in Gold Coast. Okay, so what you might want to do, take a look at who your current audience is. Okay, who your current client base is, who you serve, and what their biggest challenge is. And okay, they're coming into you to get to get straightened out, if you will. And by the way, I was a customer. I saw a shrink for a lot of years when I was younger. Um, and there's certainly some kind of makeup of who your audience is and what their number one problem is. Why not create a one-page solution to the number one problem, blah 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 blah. And by the way, not the 7 tips of X. People don't want 7 tips. They want the number one solution they can find right now. And then you can have a second one or a third one. But give them something that is quick and easy to digest. The days of giving somebody a 5-part e-course that's delivered over 5 days are gone. No one has the patience to wait 5 days. Everyone's been doing it. And frankly, at the end of the day, you want the sale now. You don't want to wait 5 days for their temperature to have gone down. When they're looking at and they're responding now, their temperature is at their highest. So what you want to do immediately is to serve them as rapidly as you can. You're going to see that, by the way, in the funnels that we're creating for ourselves and for our new funnel clients, because we're recognizing that the longer you go out, the more you lose them. Is that making some sense? So for your people, David, for example, and this is for every single one of you, okay, look at the number one problem that they're experiencing, the number one thing that is driving them to look to you in the first place, okay, and then look to meet that need, and look to meet that need with something. You give them something that's useful, but what they say is useful but incomplete. Okay, useful but incomplete, and that's how it's got to be. Okay, it can't give them everything, because if it does, of course, then you're unnecessary. And in fairness, certainly, if you're a psychologist, you're not going to solve their problem in an ebook. You've got to give them a whole lot more than that. People are needing the leadership and the guidance of a lot more than that. So give them what you can in a function that's usable, that's going to create your relationship and continue on. Is that making some sense, everybody? And that could be, if you're a locksmith, the great ways to protect yourself from being burglarized. If you're a clothing person, the best way for you to dress for success, or the best way for you to look trim, even if you've never dieted in your life. All those kind of things that will really help you build your business that people may never have thought about. Okay.
Ken,
yes, sir.
I describe this as the burlesque approach,
like
the fan dancer. And I am being sexist because I'm a male and I appreciate things. It is the principle of exciting, teasing, but still being respectful.
Right.
So that you actually keep going, and I will be like the sandwich, KLT, know, like, and trust.
I like your sandwich alliteration, especially at breakfast time.
Yeah. So to build up on these, so just again, rephrasing in a different way what you've said.
Thank you. Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, it's all about serving that customer, serving that client. And sometimes the best way to serve them, some of you want to give more and more and more, but at the end of the day, you're going to serve them best by making them your customer. One of the things that I did, how do I say this? One of the things that I did wrong or very poorly at the beginning of my career as a trainer was I gave way too much information. And that hurt in a couple ways. First of all, because I gave too much information, people were overwhelmed. They couldn't digest it. They didn't remember what they learned because their heads were overloaded. So instead of adding extra value, I devalued it because they couldn't use it. That was number one. Number two, in many cases, I gave so much information that people thought, well, I can do this on my own. And they didn't buy anything. So that hurt me. And of course, when they tried to do something, they didn't have a full and complete knowledge of what they were being taught. So they didn't achieve anything anyway. So sometimes the best thing you can do is give less so they can accomplish more. And that may sound counterintuitive, but you got to start somewhere. You want to give them the high level overview of what's possible, and then fill in the blanks, give them the roadmap, and then sell them on how to actually get from A to B, and fill in the steps. And then you add additional content, additional value by adding speed and automation to the whole process. Okay. Yeah, David says this sets him as the go-to person and they're compelled to take the next step. Exactly. So KLT is know, like, and trust. And that's really important. You're looking to build a relationship and build rapport. I mean, guys, look at what we're doing with these sessions. These
Ken?
sessions, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that just made me think of something, and I guess I want to ask your opinion on it, and also give you a little comment, a little input as to what's happened with me. I also have local clients, and find that you want to have people know, like, and trust you. So you give information, you give a free a free consultation, and very often those free consultations go over the time, unless you're really a stickler about your time. And what happens is there's a fine line there where people suddenly they're your best buddy and best friend, and they're just squeezing you for all this information. I found earlier this week that somebody has been doing that to me. Last week I gave a really good initial consultation, and suddenly he's treating me like his friend and expecting all this stuff out of me, and then he says, and you can be my manager for 20% of every job you bring in. And
as a favor, right?
Yeah, like he, and I don't know what he's expecting. Am I supposed to like fall in love with him and jump all over him like some kitty or something? It's but on the same line, being a professional, you don't just want to cut somebody off because you want to establish that KLT rapport. So it got me thinking that if this particular person, okay, he's a voiceover artist, for example, and there are a lot of people out there. There are massage therapists. There are local people that are all looking for ways to build their business locally. So I thought, well, what I can do is create. I can do a webinar and record it, and then I can put it use that, and then create a, an offer where I have, let's say, an online workshop of 1 or 2 web charge, maybe this guy, he's buddying up with me because he doesn't have the money. He's screwed himself. He doesn't have the money to pay me or pay a retainer. So he's trying to squeeze me. And a lot of people, I understand, like that. They don't have the money. They've been spending their money in all other directions, so they're trying to get what they can when they can. So if they can't afford you as a one-on-one coach, perhaps they could afford a webinar for, let's say, $50.
Sure, absolutely.
And so you give them this free webinar and say, you know what, that's really great, and here's the link if you want to work with me and see my free webinar. This might give you a little bit more information that can help you with your local business. And then there's the big ass button at the end saying, if you want to join this workshop, this is what I'm going to be doing for $50 or $70 or whatever.
Michaela, sorry Ken, Michaela, there is a big difference between attracting the audience you want with the avatar that they have and being kind and considerate.
Yeah. But
there are more people in need. There are more children who are going to sleep tonight hungry than there are children who are fed.
True, yeah.
And I don't believe you or I can solve it. The nature of the individual, unless it's an exceptional case, and I'm being hard-nosed about this, is
no, please do, because this is my problem. I want to go out and save the
they're
world.
a user. They're a user.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I'm feeling.
So you go to sleep at night feeling warm and cuddly and saying, well, I've done something good for the day. The problem is you've given them the most valuable asset, your time, and they are not respecting you for it. So, girl, stand up.
Okay, so tell me, Gary, what would you do in the situation?
I think we take this offline. It's not an appropriate conversation, which is going into a member's area. But it is the point, and it is a point with a lot of people who are in the help or the support area, is not honoring and recognizing their skills and capabilities. And we cannot, those of us over 25 know, we cannot fix all the problems in the world. You know, we made it to 25 and, you know, we were bulletproof, but it still doesn't.
Well, let me.
Well, we can always dream.
Let me jump in, guys, and bring this back to where we began. And the bottom line is this. Here, this is going to sound incredibly bold, perhaps, and maybe even mercenary, but too bad. You got the wrong customer. You got the wrong client. If one of the foundations of my mindset when we created BoosterPractice.com, and now as we moved it to the Institute for Totalpreneurship, the founding tenet, and there's 5 in the Totalpreneurship tenet, or the Totalpreneurship foundation, is this. The first one is creating more of your perfect clients and customers. This guy, if he's broke, he's not your perfect customer. A broke person is not your client. Okay? Your perfect client is someone who can pay for your services. If they can't pay, they don't belong to you. You know, and we can be nice and warm and fuzzy, hold hands and sing kumbaya, but at the end of the day, your mortgage company doesn't give a damn about them. They care about you're making a payment. And this is business. I'm happy to support and create a fundraising and foundations and all that great stuff. But I got a business to run. If you can't pay me, you can't have me. You know, it's that simple. And you need to run your business that way. You can be nice, you can be charming, but yeah, boundaries are there to be utilized, and you can provide all sorts of phenomenal service and tremendous value at whatever price point you choose to offer it at. But it's a fair exchange. You have not had a fair exchange. You have given yourself, well, actually, I take it back. You have, because you let yourself do what give your time away. But you've got to manage that. If you give yourself, and we're going to be dealing with this on our own level here, because we're going to be starting to do
absolutely. And you know, this all ties in with the wrap as well. I do believe in giving a free consultation. I need to tie that in a little bit more. And at the end of the consultation, if I sense that somebody just doesn't have the money to pay for my services, then I will ask them for a testimonial. And because I know in that half hour that I've spent with them that I've given them some very valuable information that they run with.
Sure.
I can see it in their eyes. They're saying all that. Now, from there, you know, maybe somebody doesn't have the money to pay the one-on-one coaching, but they might have money, as I said earlier, about maybe doing an automated webinar and charging for that.
Sure.
And then that's where the wrap comes in. That's where the funnel comes in. That's where, you know, the funnel that you've been talking about. And you know what? You mentioned it in the last thing, and maybe there are some new people on tonight that maybe you could just give an overview of how you use the wrap for a sales funnel. Or
sure.
Like an
sure.
ongoing.
Let me finish this conversation first before I even go there, because there's a few things I want to mention that relates to this that I think everyone needs to hear. So I'll get to that. I want to stay on a clear agenda here because we're going in too many different directions here. I want to keep us focused. Number one, okay, the reason that we're doing all of this is for business. Okay, when you set your business up, your business has to be clarified as to who your client is, where they come from, what their needs are, and what their socioeconomic position is. If you are running advertising, that advertising had damn well better be focused on who that actual customer avatar is. In other words, if you know that your average person is 16 to 32, for example, because you're dealing with a younger audience, then all of your marketing needs to be geared to them. And then when you're advertising on Facebook or AdWords, for example, then you want to be picking those target ages. Your languaging needs to meet those people's needs and so on. Same thing as if you're talking to seniors, same idea. You know, you don't use wrap words and wrap terminology to someone who's over 50, probably, unless it's my friend Laura Betterly, who I'm not sure how old she is, but regardless, she has purple hair. She's cool with that. She's a musician, okay, and one of the best strategists on SEO in the world. Okay, so you need to know your audience. That's number one. Number two, as you build your sales funnel, all right, and understand that our sales funnel is going to be having strategy sessions. Every single one will. And in the video that I made for you guys that some of you watched, we've offered you strategy sessions too. We're calling them implementation sessions. And what we're going to do for a lot of people, because we've experienced it with some of you guys, is we will actually walk you through installing the software. Now, why the hell would we do that when it's so easy to install in the first place? Because if we help you install the software, we've done something for you already. we've actually done some actual work. It'll take us 5 minutes, but it gets us to talk. There's some reciprocity involved right now. It's not just conversation. There's actually been some doingness and some value transition, and we can then get further into what your real needs are and hopefully offer you something that will serve you better, which will probably be in the thousands of dollars of a price tag. Okay, so SiteWrap ultimately becomes our lead generator as opposed to the actual product at hand, right? Now, if somebody, and there'll be different levels of what services we offer, and in your case, Michaela, it may be, and this is for all of you, it may be that they can't buy your $10,000 coaching program or the $5,000 or the $500 a month one, whatever it is you're offering. Maybe they can do a webinar and they can be on the lower level of a $50 a month continuity or something, or they just buy the $197 product and you wish them well and you keep them on an activation list until they succeed and hope that they do at some point, but keep them alive. That's all going to be part of what your business plan is. And you need to understand what that plan is. But you do absolutely want to be setting boundaries. And if you're going to be running strategy sessions, which we're doing, and I recommend that you do it as well in whatever fashion your business can support that. If it's a 30-minute strategy session, you set a timer. And at minute 29, you say, well, you got to wrap it up. Whether there's a call scheduled immediately thereafter or not, you wrap it up. The minute you go over, you have given away something that was not promised, even if you're having a good time. And by the way, I'm a big person that's guilty of that. And Gary reminded me 2 sessions ago when we ran like 2.5 hours, and it should have been wrapped at 1 hour 59 minutes. Okay, and I actually had somebody complaining that how dare I schedule something for 2 hours and run it long. That's the other side of the coin. But you really need to be mindful and protective of your time and of what your business is, and your business will run so much better because it's a system. If you don't respect yourself, then who else is going to respect you? And I say it as directly as that because it's really that important. This is business, you guys. This is not just a hobby. And if you want to become a totalpreneur, if you want to have the lifestyle that's going to allow you to travel the world and to have a lifestyle that's more fun and it includes a whole lot of freedom, it's going to mean a lot of discipline. It's going to mean a lot of systems that you have to follow. And sometimes it may not be fun to do. Sometimes it may be frustrating. But we create the systems for a good reason. I'm writing the Totalpreneur Manifesto right now. And in that, what I'm writing about is, in some cases, it's going to be really hard and it's going to be work and it's going to be frustrating. But you got to go through that process to get to the promised land. So understand that all the way through. And you can build that whole model. You can build it all the way out so that if someone can't afford you, you give them something else. David made a comment that 22,000 children are dying each day due to poverty. I know it's horrible. The world is not a fair place at all. The world is not a fair place. We're lucky to be able to be here today, all of us, in whatever levels of prosperity we're experiencing. And I dare say all of us are significantly more prosperous than 99.5% of the rest of the world, even though we can whine, bitch, and complain about how we're not where we want to be. The fact is we are incredibly, incredibly blessed. So we can continue to serve others and inspire them to serve people as well. And I'll suggest something else to you, by the way, beyond all this, is that the best way, or among the better ways we can serve other people, is by serving ourselves, serving our customers, our clients, the people we do business with, in a fashion that sets an example that inspires them. And when we do something, for example, my trip to Nepal, and hopefully your trip to Nepal coming up in September, when you come with us in September and your friends hear about it, your relatives hear about it, your business associates hear about it, and you share it with other people, they will be inspired to take the same kind of actions in their businesses that you've taken in yours to be able to achieve the kind of things that you will have achieved by the time we go away in September together. Does that make sense? I mean, this is a much, much bigger game than what a lot of people are seeing. And I want you to recognize that it can be as big as you want it to be. But it comes from strategizing it, by laying it out, by putting your system in place, and by executing that system. And the word execute is a harsh word. We try never to use that word in sales letters. But truly, it means you actually have to act on things in a very religious and strategic fashion. Any questions, comments on that? Excuse me.
Great stuff.
I was inspired. Now, let's take that and bring that into today. All right. So, for example, one, and again, I want you to think about what we're doing here, not in every part of your life. Okay, so for example, in our business model with SiteWrap, we're doing these things twice a month. Why do we do them? I mean, we've already sold you the software. Congratulations. We got paid. Why are we doing this? We're doing it for a couple of reasons. The first reason we're doing it is because I think we add more value, we build a community, and there'll be some further business that we do. This is the beginning of a relationship to me, not the end of a relationship. So how do we continue it? Well, we continue to add value. That's number one. Number two, we learn more things from you guys about how we can better serve you as you ask questions, as you participate, with pros and cons. We learn things that, gee whiz, I assumed everyone knew certain things, and you ask questions like, well, I guess they didn't. I better fix that. So there's a great amount of knowledge and market research that comes out of these sessions as well. Excuse me. So it keeps me fine-tuned. And that whole value-based thing is important. Something else that's going to come out of these, which you'll start to see over the next couple weeks also, is something that's so incredibly obvious to me now, but was so not obvious last week. And if you guys have been on the mailing list for Clay, I forget Clay's last name, from Lead Pages. I met him just last week in San Diego. Cool guy. Lead Pages, they've done a tremendous job at on marketing. And those of you that have been registering for webinars from just about anybody these days has been registering on a Lead Pages site. They all start to look the same right now. Anyhow, what Clay has been doing is he's been taking testimonials and things from his user base and putting them into blog posts. Well, now this session, for example, we're going to go back and we're going to look at who had some cool things to talk about and what morsels came out of this session today, and that will go out in a blog post to both users and non-users. Here's what we got out of this week's strategic implementation session. If you were there, you would have learned this. And that will take people that have not yet bought and hopefully convert them into buyers, or at the very least have them pay more attention to us because we're giving them content. Everything that we do, everything that you do, needs to be strategically set up to build your business. And so many of the things that you're doing is, can be very, very easily done. And the word hack has become a new word meaning something positive rather than negative. Can be hacked for that. Okay. David said modeling is often the best teacher and inspiration. Thank you. And so model the people that you're learning from. And I'm totally happy to be transparent about how we're doing things so you can do it too. Because you can. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we're going to be creating over the next few months and throughout the rest of the year that I'm not getting from thin air. I'm watching other people and I'm copying them and adding and energizing it. You need to do the exact same thing in your businesses. You don't have to have all the answers, guys. You have to. What you will find more power in, I think, is to look and see what other people are doing and model off of them and add your special spice to them. Okay. Now, there's something I wanted to mention to you. I'm going to shift gears here for a second because I want to make sure I mention this before we finish today. It's something that I learned at the Traffic and Conversion Summit that blew my mind, and we're about to implement that as soon as the sales page as soon as we feel the sales page is ready for prime time. Shannon, our new marketing person, hates this blue on the top. She thinks it's going to hurt us in conversion, so we're about to test it before we go live with spending money. But here's the very interesting thing. You may not know this, but you can buy advertising on YouTube. You may or may not have known it, but that's certainly no shock. You can buy advertising on YouTube. But what you may not know is that with one of YouTube's features, and I'm trying to remember what the thing is called. You may have to go look this one up. I apologize for not giving you the exact terminology. But with one of the things in YouTube, when you use this YouTube advertising feature, okay, they only bill you for the ad if it plays for 30 seconds or longer. Or if the ad's like 26 seconds, it'll bill you when it reaches the 26 seconds. So in other words, if your video advertising, okay, runs for only 23 seconds and it's a 30-second or 36-second shot, you're not paying for that ad at all. And if they click inside of that 26 seconds, You didn't pay for that click either. The advertising is totally free. Now, how long will that loophole be around? I don't know. But you can run ads on Google for a long, long time. The key to it, though, is that the first 5 seconds of that video have got to be something like a call out, like, hey, are you marketing online? You've got to hear this. Or something like that. Hey, do you need psychological help? Click here. You've got to call right out to them. Hey, are you unhappy? Hey, are you overweight? Hey, do you need to lose some weight? Hey, whatever it is, call right out to them to grab their attention in the first couple seconds and have them take action by clicking immediately. So that way they don't stay on that ad. The longer it is, the more you'll pay for it. So that was a massive takeaway for free advertising that came out of the Traffic and Conversion Summit. I wanted to make sure that you guys had that. So I want to, like I said, I want to make sure you had that. A video can be made in an eye-catching image, several parts, download. Yeah. So a lot of you were responding to repurposing videos and audios and texts and so on. And we're going to have a service for that coming out shortly that we're calling Storycast. So that'll take a keyword and turn it into a video and turn it into a blog post and turn it into a slide share and so on. That'll be coming out pretty soon too. But I want you to think about how you can take advantage of all the opportunities that present themselves to you, because there's so much available and there's so many faster, easier, and effective ways to turn your efforts into cash. And here's the bottom line. You can't wait for everyone to come to you. You have to swim out to the ship. Ship's not going to come to you, my friends. You've got to go out and jump into the water and swim out to it. And that relates to me. I'll put that in terms of like SEO. SEO is great, but SEO takes a while for it to actually achieve the results that you want. You're going to have to run some advertising. You're going to have to do some JV stuff. You're going to have to do something that drives traffic to your door today, or you won't be able to pay the rent tomorrow. So it really does mean being active. And that's why I want you guys to be using retargeting within SiteWrap, because it takes immediate action in bringing business into your door once you start using it. Okay. And that's why I really, really want you guys to implement that and tell me what your success is, because that should be quickly documented. Okay. Now I will.
So Ken,
yes, Gary.
In summary.
Yes.
Work smarter, not harder, with retargeting.
Oh yeah. Well, use it, guys. Just use it. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. Put it to use. You'll be amazed at what those results are going to be for you. And when you you'll start seeing your own ads, by the way. And then it's working. When you start seeing your ads, it will give you at the very least a feeling of excitement to know that other people are seeing your ads too. It makes it real. And that will make a huge difference for you. Huge. People are not using this. The excitement that we experienced on the Marketers Cruise and at the Traffic and Conversion Summit, when I mentioned what we're doing, people are like, holy crap, that's amazing. So that's why we have people that want to be promoting this thing all over the place, and there'll be a lot of webinars coming up over the next few months, specifically because of this. So you have a huge opportunity before anybody else. So, okay, Jennifer has something she wants to share. A cool site to make buttons and banners for websites called cooltext.com. Let's take a look at that. Let's see if I can get it to Chrome. Let's see if I can do that. Here we go. Let's take a look. Excuse me. Oh, look at this. Okay, so go to cooltext.com, a free graphics generator with some animations and so on. So thank you, Jennifer, for that. That's great. Something else, guys. We are going to want to put together a Google Plus group. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. We've been talking about it. Same thing with the Facebook group. And frankly, it has fallen by the wayside just because of time elements. If anybody wants to help us with that and help coordinate and manage it, I would be delighted to have somebody jump on board and run with that with us. And so if anyone's interested, please just pop me a note and let me know.
I've been doing a lot. Ken, I've been testing and doing a lot of stuff with Google Plus, so I'll send you a quote.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Google Plus has a lot of advantages, and I need to learn more about that. I mean, Gina's been using Google Plus a lot. She pretty much uses it nearly exclusively because it does a lot of cool things like adding dates to Google Calendar and so on. So it does have some merit. I mean, the numbers of people that are attached to Google Plus are not what they are with Facebook, but Google is doing a lot to force that relationship because of people using Gmail and YouTube and so on. So it's still something.
The other thing, Ken, about that is that the people using Google Plus are more, in my experience, are more inclined to be business focused, whereas most of my friends on Facebook are into games and all kinds of other stuff like that. That's not business related.
Well, John, I don't want to play devil's advocate on this because I don't disagree with you. And remember, I've been a big a fan of LinkedIn for that very reason, because people are more serious. But here's the thing that I'm going to say to you about that, because I have a lot of people that are doing business with me. I had one of our JV partners he sent me an email the other day. Are you okay? I've been messaging you on Facebook for 2 weeks and you never responded. I'm like, dude, I don't go on Facebook. I may appear on Facebook that I'm live. That's because the damn thing never logs me out. But now I look at Facebook like once every few days just to see if someone's sending me a message, because obviously people are looking for me on there. But I don't have time for that all that craziness. However, that same guy that's the CEO of XYZ company is also on Facebook. I promise you, he's on Facebook, and so he or she is still reachable in that fashion. So I wouldn't disavow Facebook at all, and I think that would be foolish for us as a business to do, and for you as a business to do. They're still there, but the business communication may be more effective in Google Plus for the very reason you're saying, is that you're dealing in a different environment. Is that making some sense?
Ken, in summary, you fish where the fish are eating. They may be swimming around in Facebook, but if the hungry fish are in another area, that's where you got to go if you want to catch fish.
I fish where there's good, solid salmon, man. That's where I fish.
Yeah, okay, but breaking it down. So
I'm being tacky here. You're absolutely right.
I know you were. You were trying to be.
Oh.
The answer is yes and no, because if your audience is there, and if it is when you run through and you have picked out your ideal customer range within their age bracket, generation
right.
what?
Yeah.
So there are different ways, like in the olden days where you had shortwave, medium wave, long wave, and FM. You can only broadcast at one time, one message in one channel to hit one audience.
Right. Yeah. Now you can go in.
I think I think you're both right about that. I just had an insight listening to this that people are in different environments with different interests.
Right.
That CEO might be more interested in business on either Google Plus or LinkedIn.
Right.
But when he's on Facebook, he might be more interested in just being social.
Right.
And have no interest in business connections there. I'm not saying that happens. I'm saying that people do have different mindsets in different places.
Well, and that's my point. The key to me, and I don't have the answer to this. I'm certainly no expert on this. The thing that I'm thinking is that, certainly from a marketing standpoint, is that from an advertising standpoint, they're all on Facebook. So your Facebook marketing may be operating in a different fashion. I find that LinkedIn advertising is ridiculously expensive, and I don't know that there's a real ROI there. And that's an I don't know, as opposed to I'm doubting it. I just don't know what the ROI is, because it is pretty pricey. And I've heard some people have not been terribly happy with their results there. But again, we just don't know. LinkedIn is a really powerful place to go play. It truly is. Anyway, for us, we're going to put together the Google Plus group. There is going to be a LinkedIn group for Totalpreneurship, which has already been created but not yet implemented. We created the name, but we haven't actually started to put it in place yet. The graphics aren't done. But that'll be done as well, because, again, we have a lot of entrepreneurs in LinkedIn. And so we'll probably have multiple groups. And, there's probably people on Tumblr and people on Pinterest as well. All those, I mean, you could spend ages in social media. What we're going to do is, again, we'll run Google Plus, we'll run Facebook, we'll run LinkedIn. I don't really ever use Twitter. I've heard pros and cons. We will have a Twitter presence, but until someone can show to me that Twitter is going to benefit us dramatically, it will be a tacit acknowledgement that Twitter exists at this point. And again, you got to go where your business is. I don't know that Twitter is there to serve us, and until someone proves it, we're not going to put the energy there. But for us, it'll be the top three. Or our top three will be Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we'll cross pollinate, and we'll run it that way. So anybody who wants to play and help us out, we'll be delighted to have you involved in that, and you'll be reaping lots of benefits from that, I'm sure. So just let me know, and we'll go down that road. Okay.
So you're looking for a social manager then, Ken?
Well, I'm looking for people that, what I want to do is I want us as a group to self-manage this. I don't want it to all just be coming from me or my team as the source. I really want us to build a community, and I'm not an expert at how to really do that. As a control freak, I probably get my own way, and so by asking for people's help, who would want to be some of our managers and moderators and so on, I think I open the door to being more successful with this, rather than doing it in the way of saying we're setting it up and you can come join, which to me is one-sided, as opposed to who wants to play and help us set it up. So that's why I'm presenting it as I am. And there you have it. So anybody else with questions for today? Comments, suggestions, brainstorms? Oh, Jocelyn's here. Hang on, she just raised her hand. I'll unmute you, Jocelyn. I didn't see you. Whoops. Nope. I'm going to mute you, Jocelyn. You were in big hum. Anybody else have anything you want to add today? Okay, then I'll ask you what were your takeaways from today? Where was your big value propositions today? Okay, Deborah says Google Plus connects directly with Google and YouTube automatically, so it'll help with analytics. Yes, agreed. Okay. Michaela says I go on LinkedIn. I sent you an invite. Yeah, actually, Michaela, there's about 600 invites that have yet to be accepted. I'm going to turn on my software today, and they will automatically accept everything, so you'll be accepted shortly. I noticed that yesterday when I logged back in. I haven't been on LinkedIn in about a month. Truth be told, so you'll be accepted there. Michaela, thank you. Michaela's going to jump in and help. Is there a new version of Wrap? It'll be out in the next few days, Wolfie. What you missed at the beginning was, unfortunately, we were expecting to see the version of 1.0 Sunday afternoon, and Sunday morning Matt's father-in-law died. So that has set us back. I believe the wake was yesterday. Matt should be online with us today, and he's as anxious as I am to get 1.0 into my hands so I can get it finished up and get tutorials made and have the new member site ready to go. So that's where we're at. Yeah, I will pass on your prayers. Yeah, it was not unexpected. There was a lot of surgery going on the week before, which really delayed us. And unfortunately, Matt was the only person that had the right blood type to donate. So they had surgery, and he was like waiting at the door of the operating room in case they needed blood. This is like drama to the nth degree. Nothing I would wish on anybody. So yeah, not a fun day in the Philippines, that's for sure, or for any of us for that matter. Okay, so takeaways. Who's got some takeaways for today?
Ken, before getting into takeaways,
yeah,
just for the Google Plus, with the changes that Google imposed on us with YouTube.
Yes.
For those people who are now creating an account, yes, those are the rules, but there are still transition rules. So if you have been around with a Google account, and I don't have the exact time frame, but say more than 3 years, you may have a different set of rules of linking up to your YouTube account to get your Google Plus page. They have made it really, really difficult for people who were there. The operation is smooth now for new accounts, but for old accounts, it is a minefield.
Thanks. That's
so
fun.
If you go that way and you suddenly start hitting a wall, it's not you. You've been Googled.
I'm not sure I understand you, Gary, because I've had, oh, I don't know,
She
five,
is.
5 years now, and I don't have any trouble.
I don't either. I'm
If you
just saying.
have a number of Google accounts, Gmail accounts,
Yeah.
you can actually find that Google will not allow you to link to an existing YouTube account that you had set up that wasn't linked together. You may have to go and lose your YouTube account and your Gmail account to go and create it to link it properly. There's a lot of documentation when you go.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess if
So
you've
it's
already
just to
done
warn
that in the
people.
past before the updates, it's okay then.
Yeah, I haven't
Add
experienced.
So
I haven't experienced that yet.
if you hit it, you're one of the minority, but unfortunately, you're Googled.
Okay, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, I don't know if anybody experienced that. No one's jumping in here to say that.
I love Google.
The thing I would add to that, Ken, is that if I heard Gary correctly, Gary, you're talking about people who have multiple YouTube accounts.
Oh yes.
And
don't you?
I only have one active one. If I have any more than that, I think it's inactive. But the point that I was going to make about that is that it gets very confusing for people to follow you on more than one account. So you might want to look at the idea of merging them.
No, absolutely no way, because in a number of markets I have different personalities.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were going to talk about vaginal bacteria, would you talk to a guy about it if you're a girl? No. So you have a different persona.
Good point.
Hence the reason.
Yeah. You got what everyone needs to remember is that when you put together your business, you've got to follow a number of business strategies. And what John, you've been used to experiencing is working with a coach that primarily works with one persona in one area and does not have a number of disparate businesses. That's just one way of doing business. There are a lot of folks out there that have a variety of products and services, like Gary was suggesting. And now, right or wrong, I mean, my former coach advisor and so on, Evan Pagan, was known as David D'Angelo for years and years with his dating program, and then went into other areas with his real name. I began my credit product with the name Brian Douglas because I wanted to keep that separate from my name, and then I for other reasons I expanded the Brian Douglas persona for a long time. But Brian still runs credit, and we don't offer that product much any longer, but we had that persona for that very thing. So yeah, for those reasons, you will want to keep your YouTube channels separate, and so on and so forth. And that presents its own little challenge if you're going to be running Google Plus groups and so on, because you're going to have they're different businesses altogether, and so you're going to manage your different businesses as different businesses, plain and simple, and it needs to be that way. So you may find even with separate merchant accounts, same idea. So just try not to be confused.
It's a bit like being Coca-Cola Amatil. You don't have one product.
Yeah.
If you are the president of Coca-Cola Amatil, you've got thousands. So that's the mindset I'm suggesting that I was talking about.
Yeah, and by the way, not everyone needs to do that. I mean, I think for people getting started, that's probably the last thing you want to do. However, if you look at a business model and you say, you know what, I am an affiliate marketer, and what I do is I sell other people's stuff, and whether it's vaginal warts or how to paint your living room, whatever it is, we're going to go out with a different style. I have a product on how to eliminate man boobs that I have. Okay, so that we have not yet released. We've had it ready to go for a while. I just never got around to releasing it. But the name of our presenter is Doc Burkowski. And by the way, Doc is not a real doctor. Doc is his nickname. But I hired a voiceover artist, and we have videos and audios and so on of Doc Burkowski talking about man boobs, and I wrote his whole story, his whole persona, and fit for that avatar. So, as an affiliate marketer, the Doc Burkowski story for BetterChessGuaranteed.com is just one product as part of the bigger business. Okay, so it can still be part of your focus as long as you understand what the element of your business is. Okay, I've never been a huge fan of that type of business per se, because I've never really felt that built you an effective universe of people. Meaning that if I had Doc Burkowski and then I had Mary, Queen of vaginal issues and other personalities, it's more difficult for me to build a larger audience of people, of a bigger tribe, because I've got myself in 3 or 4 or 5 different brands. So I've chosen not to go that road, but that other people are remarkably successful with it. So you just make your choice and run with it and focus on achieving the results you want in those areas. With SiteWrap, you can do all of it. That's the beauty of this, is because you can change everything. So a long way to get around that one. Okay, kids. Anybody? Any other comments? Aileen says, I'm confusing you. I'm confusing you with those comments about the feminine issues. I love it. Good night from the freezing cold UK, Aileen. Thank you. Was hoping that comment might have woken you up. Any other takeaways, you guys? We're gonna call this in just a second here. Nothing? Anybody?
No, I enjoyed the discussion about the multiple impressions. I didn't want to take it much further though, but that's a topic I really like.
Great, excellent. Okay, David says thanks for a great session. Waiting for a banner. David, are you waiting? Are you having someone make a banner for you? Is that something that we're doing on our end for you? I'm not sure, or whether that's just something that's on your end. I want to make sure that everyone's covered. He says thanks. Replay link. David says very inspiring. Excellent. Okay, we are. Okay, great. And we're on top of that for you. I also want to make sure everything's good. that we're not nothing's been dropped here. And if so, just drop a line at support, and we'll make sure we take care of it for you. Okay, everybody. Thank you all so much. Always great to play with you and start my day with you guys here. We will see you in 2 weeks. Between now and then, you should be seeing 1.0. I'm hoping to have that to you before the end of the week, but I'm not going to make any more promises because I hate having delays. And Debbie, you take care. Let me know when you want to get together, and let's have our talk together so we can get you underway. And everyone, Gary, as always, thank you. Thank you to you, Michaela, for everything. And Cindy, thank you for jumping in and doing your part.
Thank you, Ken, Gary, everybody.
Can I just pass a message on to Paul? Paul, okay, you've now got it.
Oh, well,
okay, that message has been forwarded on to Ken.
Oh, okay. Here, how can I create my website? Okay. Yeah, great, Paul. I see it right now. So let me see. Paul, let me, if you want, tell me where you're located. And, okay. So the answer to your question about can you affiliate market the software, absolutely. You're already an affiliate, so we'll walk you through how that works. And once 1.0 is up, what I'll do is we'll do some kind of an affiliate training so that you guys can be set to go to market 1.0. We don't do any affiliate marketing. I don't with Amazon or eBay or Gumtree. I don't even know what Gumtree is. What any of the affiliate marketing?
It's the Australian equivalent of Craigslist.
Oh, okay, cool. When we do affiliate marketing, primarily what you'll see us do is we'll market and promote something that someone has that I feel will benefit our tribe. So I think the last thing that we did was Onyx Singal's email marketing program, and we promoted that. We sent out one email about that a couple weeks ago. And I don't remember what we got paid on, what the price point is, or what we got paid on it. That didn't matter, but I felt it would add value, so I mailed it. So what I generally do is I will mail the list with something that's of value. Another element of affiliate marketing you'll experience this Thursday or Friday morning for those of you in Australia. And we've got my friend Alicia Dunhams, who I just ran into in San Diego last week. She is the creator of something called Bestseller in a Weekend, and she's got a great program on how to create a best-selling book in a weekend. She's a really cool lady, and she's going to do a webinar with us on Thursday. It'll be at, I think it'll be 9 o'clock Eastern time, which will be 1 o'clock in the afternoon for you guys in Sydney, and adjust your time if you're on Gold Coast, of course. And in any event, she's great, and that's whenever we do a webinar with someone, it is an affiliate or a joint venture deal because whatever's sold is split. So we run our affiliate programs that way rather than going to Amazon. And primarily our choice on that is that I'm more familiar with it. It's easier for me. It's something that I know I'm marketing something specific, and I'll make a lot more money on an individual sale if I know that I'm going to make $100 on a sale of X versus maybe a teeny little bit on an Amazon sale. It's just not been my marketing philosophy. So Paul, the best thing for you, I think, would be for us to do a strategy session and or an implementation session, learn more about your business and see the best way for us to help you. I think that would be probably the best thing. And I'm doing this now publicly because every single one of you has been invited to do the same thing with us, and it would be with either me or Shannon, who's our marketing strategist, because I want to make sure that really we're taking advantage of every possibility to serve you and give you the tools that you need to build your business in a much more effective way. So people send you what they're trying to sell, and you pass on. Okay. So Paul, I'm not sure I'm totally understanding your question. People send you what they're trying to sell, and you pass those affiliates to us. Okay. What we're doing is we can do two different things. For the SiteWrap group and in the current members area of SiteWrap, towards the bottom, we gave you the ability to join other affiliate programs and promote other people's products. And these are products that we believe in, we think are really good. For example, the Bug-Free Mind product from Andy Shaw. Andy's a cool guy. He's got a great product. It's only like $100 or something, and it will help people change their lives. So we would love to see that promoted throughout the world. I spent some time with Andy on the Marketers Cruise a couple weeks ago. So we pass it on to you. Now, truth be told, we get a commission if you sell it. You'll get a commission, we'll get a commission, because we have what's called second tier. So what we can do is we can pass on other affiliate offers to you that you can promote and get paid on. And if we do, 9 times out of 10, we're going to pick up what's called second tier commission, which generally is about 10% of the total commission. Okay, that's how it usually works. It can be more or less, depends upon what the offer is. And I tell you this so that you can understand how the whole thing works. So that's how the process is. Generally speaking, if we're sending an email out to you, and again, you'll get an email this week within probably the next 20 hours for Thursday's webinar. That'll be for something that we're doing ourselves. Or if we're going to recommend a product and we send you to a wrapped page, it'll be a third-party product that we'll get paid on, and we're sending it out because we think it'll be of value to you. If you've noticed, I haven't sent you any significant promotional emails over the past few weeks because nothing has been, in my view, worthy of your time, frankly. And I don't need to send you junk just to throw stuff at you. You want to, as an affiliate marketer, I think, honor the list and the tribe that you're putting together and not just throw shit against the wall. There are others that disagree. There are others that say you need to mail them every day, sometimes once, sometimes twice a day. That's not the way I want to run our relationship. I really want our relationship to run more on quality than on quantity. And if my list ends up being 1,000 people only that are active, and that turns out to be a list that ultimately makes me a couple $1 million a year because they actually are served, that's a much better list to me than having a list of 100,000 of which, very small numbers are actually active. So I encourage you to think about your marketing business and your affiliate business in the standpoint of what makes the most sense for you. But I think, Paul, for you, the best, based on your questions, best thing to do is to get on the check your email for the link to the video that we sent you. On that page where the video is a link to a survey. Excuse me. Download that survey. We didn't put it into SurveyMonkey. We just didn't have time to do it. So it's a downloadable PDF document. Fill it out. Scan it and email it back to us because the fax is a USA fax. That's going to be the least expensive way to get it back to me. And then let's set up a time to go over what you're doing, and we'll get you all connected and hooked up properly. I think that would be the best use of your time. And for anyone else who's in that scenario, I think that would be a really important thing to do. Debbie, that would be good for you too, actually, before we talk, just to get a better handle and save some time rather than my asking you some of the basics. You can do a little bit of advanced work on that. So if anybody else wants to play, it's on that replay page. Just go download the document, and like I said, it'll be at this point it'll be Shannon or myself that'll be working with you personally for that session. Okay. I don't know what the link is off the top of my head, Debbie. It's in an email that we sent to you. I would say we sent it out probably about 8 or 9 hours ago, and it was in the last email that was sent to you that said, what was the subject of the email? I don't even remember, frankly. But just look for the last email from me, and it should be there. Okay. If not, just pop me a note, and we'll get it to you. Okay. I just don't know what that link is off the top of my. You know what? Hang on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hang on a second. Let me do it here. Let's see. I don't know if I can. SiteWrap. It was called. No, I don't know. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I apologize. I don't want to waste everybody's time here.
Okay, like is it in your cache or
I'm trying to
browser cache?
Let me try one other thing here. Let me see if I can find it here. Is this good meeting corporate my webinars? Let's see if this is it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm looking, but I don't. Huh?
Before we go, I think Jocelyn has a question. She has her hand up.
Okay, Jocelyn, what you got? I'll look for it while Jocelyn asks the question. And I'm looking for it. So Jocelyn.
She's self-muted.
She's self-muted, I see. Anybody?
Yeah, I accidentally put the hand up instead of muting myself.
Oh.
I'm clanging and banging around here.
No problem.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm just so far behind everything. I just they're making me work late. So what can I say?
Well,
yeah.
We are all in a state, I think, of being perhaps a little bit further behind than we want to be. That's all part of the game. All right, let me see here.
It looks like Deborah found it for you.
I got it. It's SiteWrap. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's SiteWrap-beta-2- video.
It's already in the chat, Ken.
There it is. Thank you.
Thank Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah. Okay, cool. So it's there. There's my little video, and the link is at the bottom. So hopefully that'll help get you guys sorted. And feel free. There's no charge for that, but it will help us help you if we know like where you guys are at. So
can I give a comment to Paul?
Yeah, Gary.
Paul, the webinar times are based on Eastern Standard Time. You need to get in your browser a world clock, or if you use Firefox as a an add-on called Fox Clocks, so you can actually work out the time according to your location and add it.
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's a good point. When we do, and by the way, this is a hint for all of you guys. When we do a webinar registration page on the webinar registration page, now I think we add Sydney time, but we also have a link that says click here to see the time in your area. And if you click on that link, we use this service. Oh, I forget what it's called. Let's see. But there are a couple different services that will actually do clicks. One of them I found that Mind Valley was using that, I like even better than our current one. But it will turn that time into your time zone, wherever that happens to be. We chose this time to be consistent because I found that that for the most of the world, and Aileen's going to yell at me for this, but for most of the world, it works most conveniently.
She's gone.
Well, she'll hear it on the replay, and then she'll yell at me. This is 7 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. It is 7 a.m. for me here in Bangkok, which is not unreasonable for me to be up at. And for you guys in New South Wales, it's either going to be 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So, but I think for Aileen, it's like 12 or 11 or 12 at night, like 11 or 12 midnight. So, unfortunately, there aren't a lot of people that are with us in Europe. We will probably move this around a little bit to inconvenience everyone equally, but given the best populations of our universe and of our customer base, they're primarily American and Australian. We do have a coaching client of ours in Norway, so I want to be mindful of him and some of the others that are in Greece and elsewhere. But running it at some point is going to inconvenience somebody somewhere along the lines. So that's the. And Michaela says East EST is the best time in the world. I won't disagree with you because I'm from New York, but I live in Bangkok right now, and as far as I'm concerned, my time is the best time in the world. So, all right, boys and girls, I'm done here. Anything else that we want to cover before I say goodbye and start rendering the video? Okay.
Hope we see you in Bangkok.
Thank you guys. The invitation is always extended. Deborah says it's nice. Deborah says it's nice to be on a webinar in daylight hours for once. Yeah, well, we've tried to do that to be fair to you guys. And I got to tell you, when we've run the weekend workshops, I was doing weekend workshops for with Gina. We would run them 9 a.m. 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 on Saturday, and all day Sunday 9 to 6 East Coast Sunday. And while it was convenient for her, it just kicked my ass, and I was a zombie the following day. And there's some now studies out that show that lack of sleep has dramatic negative results on business. Just jet lag alone this past weekend, all I did was sleep. I mean, was worthless and still not 100%. So sleep deprivation and sleep disruption does have an economic effect. So we want to minimize that, certainly for me, as well as for you guys as well, and try and make this as manageable as we possibly can. So there's all that for you. But it's all recorded. It's all available to everyone at any time on demand in the members area. And the members area, by the way, will be shifted over to totalpreneur.com. Your current links still work, but at the end of the transition, you'll still be able to get in. You'll be forwarded until we give you the new. And by the way, all of your access information, your username and passwords are identical. We're moving everything over with Wishlist, copying it all over. So the transition will be easy. Just a little heads up if it's coming. Okay, David has a solution for jet lag. Okay, David, I'm all ears for that. Why don't you pop that into an email to me if you don't mind? Just send it to me at support at totalpreneur.com. I will be thrilled to answer that. And John says, thanks, bye, but he spelled it B-U-I. John, I like the way you're thinking and you're learning. Okay, you guys. Gary, a pleasure. Cindy, thanks for helping us out. Michaela, always a pleasure. David, Paul, Jocelyn, John, Lloyd, Michaela, Cynthia, Aaron, Gary, I said you already, Debbie, Glenn, you were quiet today, Glenn. That's probably because you were muted. But have we taken, Glenn, are you covered? You under control and taken care of? I'm unmuting you as I ask you that question. If you're still here, I'm trying to unmute you. Are you good, Glenn? Are you good?
Gary, not Gary, Ken, you should get one of those romper room mirrors.
A romper room mirror? What's that?
You don't know romper room.
I know. I think I was on romper room once, to be honest with you.
Yes, and I remember when she used to say goodbye to everybody.
I don't. I don't. But
the magic mirror.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I think romper room, I believe, was on WNEW Channel 5 in New York, and I seem to think that as a kid, I have to ask my mom. I seem to think I was actually on that TV show once. You are now bringing back memories.
You will. Well, thank you anyway for everything tonight. It was a great session.
Great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Our invoice is in the mail.
I love you all. And we will be repurposing some of this later on. So you guys keep adding good stuff to the next one. And I'm looking forward to some videos and some testimonials and case studies from you guys. I want to brag about my children. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. See you in a couple weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.